Hi, this is Andy Katz, host of March Madness 365, presented by Grammarly. This week on the podcast, listen as we break down the latest AP poll and give you insights on my updated Power 36. Listen to March Madness 365 with Andy Katz, presented by Grammarly, wherever you get your podcasts. Grammarly is a secure AI writing partner that gives your team an instant first draft in a few clicks, not a few hours. Companies that use Grammarly save an average of 19 days per employee per year. Grammarly works seamlessly across 500,000 apps and websites. Get personalized, on-brand writing help everywhere your team works. Learn what better writing can do for your company at Grammarly.com. Grammarly. Easier said, done.
Survivor 46 is here, and so is On Fire, the only official Survivor podcast, and we have a twist this season. The winner of Survivor 45, Dee Valladares, will be joining us every week.
We're going behind the scenes of the biggest moments, the how and the why things happen, and the strategy and analysis you can only get from someone like me, a Survivor winner.
Listen to On Fire, the official Survivor podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
First of all, don't talk to her. Second of all, stop talking when I'm interrupting. And what did you just say?
Well, she just because I go into my house a couple times, there was like a bottle of shampoo from my kid or my bathroom sitting on my dresser in my bedroom. Now I don't use shampoo. It's just
This is the plaintiff, Wendy No. She says the defendant, her husband, stole 2 cats from her, some winter clothes, and a table and chairs, and refuses to give them back. Her husband had her arrested. She can't believe it's come to this, a lawsuit, and is suing the louse for $3,000, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Thomas No. He says the plaintiff never wanted the cats and threatened to let them out on the loose where they would have surely died. He doesn't have her winter clothes or her table and says the only reason he's being sued here today is because she's trying to get back into his house. And if she does, she will never leave because she hasn't moved on. He's accused of cat-nabbing.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You will come in.
Wendy No, you are suing your husband, Thomas No, from whom you've been estranged for 5 years? Mm-hmm. For $3,000, because according to you, he won't return your cats, got you arrested, and won't return some property. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on.
Your Honor, it's been 19 years since I met this man. 14 years of marriage. We got married in 2002. I was evicted in 2014. I asked him to just hold on to the cats because I'm not going to have a place to live for a week, you know? And I had to fight a little bit.
How many cats?
Two cats. So we agreed to take them. So then he calls me. I finally find a place. He calls me a couple weeks after I move in. He's like, you got to come take the cats. They're driving me crazy. You got to come get them. And I'm like, okay, I just got some boxes out of storage. Give me a week. I'll come get them. Well, then I started calling, text message, Facebook message. No response, no response.
Can you prove the texting, Facebook message, and calling? Do you have phone records, Facebook
I don't have copies of that, no. I don't have,
Okay, how long did you leave the cats with them?
Almost 6 weeks.
Okay, now I presume that your story on this is different. Did you want her to pick up the cats or no?
Your Honor, she was going to put the cats out on the street. I told her I would take the cats in because I didn't want to see them dying. You know, it's like
all right. So according to her, she spent 6 weeks stalking you, trying to get you to answer so she could go pick up her cats. True or false?
No, that's not true.
Okay. What instead is the truth, according to you, on that?
Well, she shows up. I went to work. She sends me a text, a picture of outside of my house. I'm at work. I had to leave work early.
Okay, but all right. You take a picture and text it to him to show him that you're at the house?
Yeah, I was there. I was there for 4 hours, Your Honor. And trust me,
Yeah,
I
but
lived
did
in
you
that
have a plan
house.
to meet him there or something?
No, but I can't get a hold of him on the phone. I had no choice.
Was she calling you and you weren't answering
My
her?
daughter.
No, that was just one
My
text she sent.
daughter.
Can you say, okay, wait, can I see proof of how much you were trying to call him? Because I want to know if you were legitimately there for the cats. Can you show me any proof of how it is that you were trying to reach him in order to get your cats back? Show me the text, show me the phone records, show me emails, show me something.
My daughter
Is the answer no?
I don't
you
have
can't
them,
prove that your contact, because he's denying you ever called him.
I know.
He just says you show up in his house. All right. So you go to his house because according to you, you can't prove it, but according to you, you're trying to reach him nonstop, and the guy's just ignoring you. So you show up, then take a picture, and then text it to him to show him that you will not be ignored, that you're in front of his house. Okay, and what happens?
Your Honor, with all due respect, I can get into that house anytime I wanted. I lived there for 15 years. My
He didn't change the
key,
locks?
No, my front key still worked. I was outside
It's not
for
supposed to
4
move around
hours.
the house, then, huh?
Wait, what did you
I
say
was
to her?
outside.
First of all, don't talk to her. Second of all, stop talking when I'm interrupting. And what did you just say?
Well, she just, because I go into my house a couple times, there was like a bottle of shampoo from my kids or my bathroom sitting on my dresser in my bedroom. Now, I don't use shampoo. It's just, how did it get there? She just said she could get in the house anytime.
Why have you not changed the locks?
Huh?
heard
You know
me.
what? I did change the lock since then. Yes.
So you're there and you want your cats.
Your
and
Honor.
you send a picture and you show him that you're in front of the house. And then what happens?
So I texted him, he no response. It was 4 hours and he didn't come home until after I was so cold outside. I went down to the corner place and sat down in somewhere warm and texted him again and said, meet me here then. So he came there. Where I was and said, you can come over now. So he went there. The cop was actually already at the house before I arrived. I got there and, I was just, all he had to do was put the cats in the carrier that I provided, sit them
How
down.
many carriers did you bring?
One carrier,
four
but it
cats.
was a big, two.
Okay.
I'm
two.
only
I'm
trying
sorry.
to get two.
Two cats.
There are
According to
four.
you, are there two cats?
There are two orange cats, yeah. They're
They're
the
mine.
cats she's talking about are the two
cats
cats.
she's talking about, yes.
Right. There are two other cats
So
that
what
live
happened?
in that house. So all he had to do was drop that off and me pick them up and go home with my cats. But instead, the cop was waiting for me. This particular officer, the first time I met this particular...
If you had no contact with the guy and you have a good enough relationship with him that you're able to have him house your cats, why did it go to pot like this so quickly?
I couldn't even tell you. It's a
Right,
game
so the
he
police are there,
plays.
and then what happens? Because you
So-
get arrested for disorderly conduct.
Correct.
Yeah, let's get to that.
Yeah.
What happens?
I'm sitting on my porch. The one cop brings out
On
one
your
of
porch?
the cats. Yes.
How long has it been since you don't live in the house?
5 years, but
Okay,
it's still.
so you're sitting-
Seven
you
years.
live somewhere 15 years,
years.
and this is the house. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's still, I put every bit of work into it.
Is the house
Every
under
bit.
his name, or why don't you guys get a divorce?
Oh,
Why
I
don't you
don't-
guys get a divorce?
I can't afford it, and he don't want one.
That's not true.
Okay, seriously, you guys can do self-help. You don't have to go to a lawyer. You can get this done. Do you own any joint property?
Yeah, the house.
No, it's my house.
Did you have it before the marriage?
Yes.
By 6 months.
No.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Years.
It's like, it's like being a little bit pregnant. It's either owned before you marry or it's owned after you marry. All right, so go on.
But I have my name on loans and things through that house in the 15 years.
So you may have some interest in it. You just, but you have to, in order to get there, you have to file. And filing
Right.
is the filing fee. And
Now-
if that's a hardship, you can get that waived.
Your Honor,
Anyway, look, you get
for a
there and
man
what's the
that-
problem? Now there's cops out there. What's the problem?
I
You don't know what the
didn't
problem is.
even
That's
say
it. I'm
a
not
word.
asking you anymore.
Yeah.
You tell me, what was the problem?
She told me to meet her. There's a pub down the street from my house. It's closed down now. But I went up to there. I left work, went there, met her at the pub. I said, listen, there's nothing for us to talk about. You're not coming to the house.
Why did you say that? Had she been, what did she want to do?
It's always about money. It's something about money. She needs help, monetarily help. And it's like, I'm not a rich man. I got bills to pay myself. I said, I can't help you out anymore. You're done.
But wasn't she there to get the cats?
No, she was not.
What was she there to do?
I don't know. I can't.
Well, what did she say to you in the bar?
She didn't give me an explanation why. She just wanted to come get into the house.
And do what?
I don't know.
You didn't ask her?
I couldn't get a straight answer,
What answer did you get?
I didn't get an answer. I told her, I says, don't show up at the house. You're not welcome. I don't want you. You cannot come to the house. And she shows up at the house anyway. And I told her to leave the house or else I'm going to call the cops. She was banging on the front door, really, I felt the glass in the front door was going to break in. So I had no choice but to call 911. The cops show up,
Wow.
they separate us. One cop was talking to her out on the front lawn. The other cop was talking to me in the house. I tried getting the cats for her. I got the one cat. The other cat, it would not let me get him. It was like he was fighting tooth and nail. I put the cat out in the front porch for her. The cat started, crying, meowing, uncontrollably.
Wait, you put the cat where?
Out on the front porch.
Inside the carrier or no?
Inside the carrier.
Okay.
Okay. She proceeded to start to berate the cops, calling the cops, well, I'm not even going to say it on, in the courtroom.
Oh, go ahead.
But anyway, no, I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
But anyway, she started berating the cops. The cops gave her
What were you calling the police?
Lies. Very nice.
It's on a police report.
Wait, you were really nice to the police?
So you're
How much did you have to drink at the bar, honey? Because I'm reading the police report.
I know.
How much had you had to drink?
Half a glass before Tom got there, and I followed him right back.
Have you read the police report?
I did.
Okay,
it's stunning. I know.
Because according to the police report, you were incredibly belligerent. You smelled of alcohol.
But read it. Look through it with a little bit of a detective, and I know you do.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Let me get to the part where it says that you are. I can't even say it either.
Wait.
You are blanking blanks.
It starts off. The
rectal orifices. That you spoke with the DA. You're going to have their jobs. That. They better let you into the house.
Dismissed, by the way, because the cop didn't want to face me in front of a judge, by the way.
You cursed at them, used rude and offensive language. They warned you that if you continued, they would arrest you for disorderly conduct. You called 911 and were rude and argumentative with the 911 call taker. And then that's it. They went ahead and arrested you.
Let me go to line 1. Upon arrival, Thomas Snow was standing in the driveway and Wendy was sitting on the front porch. Does that, look, when you're really upset, if I'm hooting and hollering and banging on doors and all this, is the cop going to arrive and I'm sitting on the steps?
Maybe. Where are the cats?
Wrong here. Wrong.
They're in my house still.
Okay, and are you willing to give her back those cats?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here in front of the TMZ Hollywood Tour Bus. Question, these people haven't lived together for 7 years. Is it weird they have not filed for divorce?
It's not weird at all. A lot of times it's a pride issue or a monetary issue. Some people just don't want to give in. It's a pride issue.
But isn't your life kind of on hold?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a common divorce law, but there should be. After 5 years, you're not living together.
Common law divorce. I love that. I love that. That's hilarious. You know what? Why not end it there? That's funny. That's just funny, going inside the courtroom.
I would give them back to her, but her apartment's 12 by 12, and
but they're her cats, right?
They're her daughter's cats.
They're her daughter's cats.
She's in the Army right now.
Okay, but they're cats. They're property, and they don't belong to you. She was trying to get them back that day. You just couldn't.
Well,
you were gonna give them back that day, but you couldn't find them. So the cats are going to go back to her. You are suing him for $2,000 for the cats. I love cats and everything.
In case he lost one.
Yeah, okay. And you have both cats, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. $1,200 for lawyer's fees. For what?
Oh my God. The first time I met this officer was at his uncle's Christmas party.
I don't care. You got yourself arrested. Why is it that he has to pay for your lawyer? How is it his fault that you got yourself arrested? I'm reading the police report, and the cops kept giving you opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to just shut up and leave, shut up and leave. They think you're shutting up and you're leaving, and they're diffusing the situation. Next thing you know, you're calling 911 to get more cops there. How is that his fault? $400 for a fur-lined weather coat.
I called 911
After 5 years, you've been separated from the guy. How is it that there's a fur-lined weather coat?
Yeah, I tried to get stuff a few times. The one sergeant that came out of the house.
How about the day you bring him the cats? Maybe you could get your coat then?
He said he gave everything to Goodwill.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you work?
Part-time, yes.
Okay,
As a
so how is it you're
waitress.
suing for $1,200 in lost wages for what you might have made if you worked full-time?
Because my hand got injured in that.
In what?
With the cop. The cop injured my hand.
Okay. Do you have a lawsuit against the cops?
I went to internal affairs. I pressed charges. They said, you know, everything is fine, of course.
Okay.
You know, but having
But
the
he has to
injury-
pay you for that?
You know, it's been 10 months since
All right,
this
Ms.
happened.
No, based on what I've listened to, my verdict in this case is for the defendant. I wish you both a lot of luck.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. And let's be clear. You're going to return the cats. We're going to make arrangements now with Officer McIntosh, and perhaps there should be a third party involved. You might want to think about it. I don't know who that nice man is, but maybe there should be a third party involved in the transfer so that we don't put you two in contact with each other.
All right, hold on right there, guys.
Well, the plaintiff's out here. You're getting the cats. Isn't that what you want the most?
Yeah, it is, most certainly.
All right, so how are you
they got me through a lot, and yeah, at least now I know if he plays any more games, we go back to court, because I will get those cats.
Well, do you expect to drag him back into court on some
Do I
other
expect
things?
he's an honest man? I don't think so.
Is that what I asked?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, right down there.
Thank you.
All right, so step on in here. What's this like for you?
Oh, same old with her. I wish her well. Cats, you know, she can have the cats. Yeah, I have no problems with that. You know, the judge made the right decision.
Do you think you've heard the end of the issue, or her?
No, no. I got to file for the divorce, that's for sure, and try and get things finished, I guess you could say.
You gonna miss the cats?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I grew a little attached to them, but you know, it's
You're giving them up?
Yeah. You know. Well,
Harvey,
what am I going to do?
Okay, Kurt, the judge mentioned that you could file for divorce without hiring a lawyer, which is absolutely true. But I will say this, that if there are kids involved, you should probably at least go consult with a lawyer before you do it on your own, because number one, you know, there are custody issues, child support issues, spousal support issues, and also there is a division of property that you have to consider. And all of those things, not a bad idea to talk to a lawyer first about your rights. Going inside the courtroom right now for the next case.
Hi, this is Andy Katz, host of March Madness 365, presented by Grammarly. This week on the podcast, listen as we break down the latest AP poll and give you insights on my updated Power 36. Listen to March Madness 365 with Andy Katz, presented by Grammarly, wherever you get your podcasts. Grammarly is a secure AI writing partner that gives your team an instant first draft in a few clicks, not a few hours. Companies that use Grammarly save an average of 19 days per employee per year. Grammarly works seamlessly across 500,000 apps and websites. Get personalized, on-brand writing help everywhere your team works. Learn what better writing can do for your company at Grammarly.com. Grammarly. Easier said, done.
Hey there. Did you know Baker's always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower than low prices? And when you download the Baker's app, you'll enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. And don't forget fuel points to help you save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. Want to save even more? With a Boost membership, you'll get double fuel points and free delivery. So shop and save big at Baker's today. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
This is the plaintiff, Robert. He says the defendant owns a restaurant and is the head chef to boot. He worked as a line cook for him for a week. The defendant stiffed him on his pay, and he's here because he wants the $462 he's owed for the 33 hours he slaved away in the guy's kitchen. This is the defendant, Brian Jenkins. He says the plaintiff worked for him for a week, then never showed up for the next week of work, didn't even have the common decency to call him and let him know. He was a fool because he got concerned about the guy and was afraid something happened to him. What a sucker he was. Because the plaintiff simply blew him off, got another job, and didn't bother to notify him. This left him in a bad position. He lost money and is certainly not paying him because the plaintiff didn't live up to his obligations. He's accused of burning a cook.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff worked as a line chef for the defendant and says he got stiffed. But the defendant says the plaintiff just bailed without notice. It's the case of get in line.
Robert, you've asked to be referred to only as Robert. You are suing Brian Jenkins and Sintra, not Sinatra. Sintra Restaurant. You get that a lot? Sintra Restaurant. You're the owner, Mr. Jenkins, for $462 in unpaid wages from September 15th through the 19th for 33 hours at $14 an hour. What were you doing for him?
I was a line cook.
Okay. And how long did you work for him?
About 3 months or so.
Okay. And at some point you decided that you wanted to take another job?
Yeah. Just restaurant industry as a whole, not the easiest thing in the world. Was really stressed out, so just needed to change careers.
So what'd you do?
Went online, talked to a couple friends.
Got a job doing what, I mean?
Oh, gotcha. It's a third-party Apple store, so I'm a sales representative.
Okay. Is that what you're still doing now?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you're done with the restaurant business? All right, so now you say to him when you get the new job, you give him 2 weeks' notice. Mm-hmm. Everything fine so far. And your 2 weeks' notice you give him when?
On the 12th of September.
Okay. So the 15th through the 19th is week 1 of the 2 weeks, and then what happened the second week?
So on the second week, so I usually had Sunday, Mondays off. So on Monday, I did training at my new job. And then from there, I was required to train the next day.
But didn't you know when your training was?
Honestly, no.
Why not?
Just the way that they structured the training.
Why wouldn't you just tell them I can't train this week? I still have an obligation at my prior employer because I gave him 2 weeks' notice.
I gotcha. I was just really stressed out at the time.
You just didn't want to go back to work there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
It's nothing against Brian.
Oh, that's wonderful. It is something against Brian because Brian, what happened?
So he explained to me on a Saturday night that he didn't want to be in the business anymore and he was giving his 2 week notice. And I said, okay. Asked him what his new job was going to be like. He told me, and I said, if you'd like to keep your foot in the door and stay in any capacity part-time in case this new thing doesn't work out, I'd love to have you. You're a good guy. Everything was good.
Was he a good line cook?
Yes. And he said, thank you so much. I'll think about that. But right now I'm just going to focus on this. So I said, okay, 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks. Because it's going to take me 2 weeks to find the person who replaces you. Mm-hmm. So I'm a small business owner. We're closed Sunday, Monday so that everybody can have 2 days off so that we only need to have one staff. It's the kind of place where Mark's family would come in and have dinner. It's the kind of place where one of the waitresses was his school teacher. It's just that kind of place, and we had that kind of relationship where, hey, let me know, and I'll work with you.
So what happened?
For him to not, so at 3 o'clock
So he's supposed to show up on
3 o'clock
Tuesday.
on Tuesday.
Right.
At 3:30, I get a text from the lead cook, because I wasn't there. I opened a second restaurant.
Oh, good for you.
Mark's not here. Have you heard anything? I said, no, nothing. Called him right away, went right to voicemail, sent a text. Mark, what's going on? Are you okay? Again, there's no one else for me to call. And
how many cooks do you have in the kitchen? Too many?
4.
4? Okay. And then, so when he's missing, now you have 3.
Yes.
Okay, so go on.
So we have a horrible night. It got very busy. Customers had to wait longer than they would normally wait. People left because we had to go on a wait because the front of the house realized that the kitchen couldn't keep up at this point. So things went bad. And the next day, I get a text forwarded to me from my lead cook saying, here's what Mark sent me.
And what was it?
So the defendant's saying, this guy screwed me over, so I'm just not going to pay him for the last week. Can he do that?
I think he can. 2 weeks is not too much to ask for.
It's not too much to ask for, but can he justify not paying for the guy for the actual week he worked?
I mean, all he did was ask him to give 2 weeks notice. That was the
deal. That was the deal. Did he get paid for the week he did?
I think, yeah. He did his work. He gets
Okay,
paid.
you're getting mad.
He gets paid. Huh? He did the work. He gets paid.
But he also kind of screwed the owner over.
Too bad.
Oh, well, that's... too bad. Oh, going inside the courtroom.
I understand I made a poor, immature decision. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be in for the rest of the week. Brian can mail me my last check. And I just couldn't.
Nothing to you? No,
Nothing
geez,
to
I'm
me.
sorry, this is what happened.
Not until the week later when he said, "Where's my check?"
Oh, then what? Then did he come see you, or did he call you?
Send me a text, said,
Texted you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's the point, is that on principle, we were cool. I tried to help him. I was a good boss. He had a good thing going in the profession that he went to school for, you know? And
right. I mean, he obviously has a choice to
he made the
change
choice,
his
and
life. The thing is, if you give a guy 2 weeks notice, why don't you abide by it?
It was a poor decision, clearly.
You think?
I do.
You think it's when you said some interesting things in your answer to the complaint, which is that, how old are you?
45.
Okay. Oh my gosh, you look so much younger. 2 restaurants and 40. Good for you. Oh, sorry. Who are you?
I'm a server.
Okay, gotcha.
No. Don't.
But, and how old are you?
I'm 22, ma'am.
22. You made a comment about young people today, and I want to hear that from you verbally.
Well, I'm thinking about the next boss that he has. Maybe he won't do this. You know, that's why I couldn't pay him, because there needed to be a consequence. He put my servers, who are my family, single mothers, this is what they do for their livelihood, and he put us all in a bad place.
Well, you're short-staffed.
With
all right? Don't ham it up too much. But yes, I really think it's the height of irresponsibility on your part to give a guy 2 weeks notice and then be such a baby, because you're not like 14, you're 22. Man up. Pick up, go in, tell him whatever you feel like you need to tell him. But my God, give the guy a little notice so he can get somebody else over there. All right? Mm-hmm. You didn't cause single motherhood, but you did cause a lot of grief for a lot of people that night. Alrighty. However, having said all that, because I agree with you that in the karma sense, he wronged you. If a guy works, you got to pay him. So I hear you. I agree with you. There was actually a Saturday Night Live skit a little while back. I don't know if you guys saw it, where it was kind of a commentary on this next generation, and I don't mean to pin all the sins, just your own, which is bad enough. But you know, it's some young woman walks into her boss, says, "I think I should get a promotion." And the boss says, "You've been here too much." She goes, "I know, right?" You know, like 2 months was more than enough time to have gotten a promotion and a raise. You know, there really needs to be a sense of working towards the goals, and part of them is your word and how you look. However, that doesn't give you the right to not pay him. You still got to pay him. Okay? So he worked it. He's entitled to it. That's not a legal reason. It may be a karma reason, a moral reason, what goes around comes around reason, but it's not a legal reason. $462 verdict for the plaintiff.
Right, both sides, hold on, please.
So the judge agreed with you completely, but when she said, however,
yeah,
what do you
that's when
think?
I knew I was in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate, but I feel like we accomplished something, because I really do feel like he knows he made a mistake, and maybe he won't make it again.
All right. How are things going at the old joint?
Really good.
Amazing.
We have the most talented lines cook we've ever got. So
The service is amazing too, just so you know.
Really? What's the
Sintra Restaurant in Braintree.
Yes.
Braintree? All right.
Money.
Free meals for the crew here at the
Just for
People's
you,
Court.
Fred.
All right. All right. Thanks a lot.
Nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you. All right. So step on in here. You didn't look that great in the courtroom, did you?
No, I was really nervous.
I mean, what you did?
Oh, yeah, it was an immature move. I know it was. Just personal reasons and everything else. I had to go right then and there.
What have you learned?
Well, Brian's a good guy either way. I learned that it's not right to just walk out on someone, and it's good to live up to your commitments.
Okay. Harvey?
Okay, now, if you actually don't get paid for work that you did, what you can do, short of going to court sometimes, is you call your state labor commission, because they will actually mediate some of these disputes. They can put pressure on a landlord, put pressure on an employer, to do the right thing. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
This is the plaintiff, Betty Crawford. She says her neighbor, the defendant, damaged her house when he sprayed varnish on it while fixing his fence. Now her house is ruined. The defendant refuses to give her the money to fix her house properly. She's at her wit's end over all of this drama and is suing for the $1,700 she's owed. This is the defendant, Jermaine Pinkston. He says he admits his pump sprayer went haywire and accidentally sprayed a little paint on the plaintiff's house. He offered to pay a contractor to fix the overspray, but the defendant refused and demanded an exorbitant amount of money, which was a clear sign this woman was trying to take advantage of him. Honestly, he's happy he's here being sued today because he wants the judge to set this woman straight and expose her for being the gold digger she really is. He's accused of getting sloppy. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $500, the amount he paid a contractor to attempt to fix the problem.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant sprayed varnish on her house as he was spray painting his fence with varnish. He says it was just not that much, so no big deal. It's the case of, I got a shiny new fence and I'm not that happy.
Thank you, Douglas. Betty Crawford, you are suing Jermaine Pinkston.
Yes.
Your neighbor for $1,700. The estimate that you received for repairing the siding on your house that you say he ruined. You're counterclaiming against her $500, a down payment you paid a contractor to do that, and she wouldn't let him. All right, let me hear from you.
Around about July of this year, around about the 4th of July, Mr. Pinkston informed my daughter that he had got paint on my fence. And I said, okay.
On your fence?
On my fence. That's what he's told my daughter.
Okay.
So I didn't mind that, even though it was paint on the fence. So a couple of weeks after that, I said, oh, let me see if he got the paint off my fence.
You did not go by to see the damage?
No.
You live in the house, right?
Yes.
And you couldn't be bothered to walk 10 feet to go look at it?
I did not.
That's so funny.
So
weren't you curious?
If it was just paint.
Well, you didn't know what it just was because you never looked. So
I never
looked.
Curious? No, I did not.
Oh, I would have been so panicky. I would have run out. It's just, must be good to be you.
So, well, I guess I was running with my grandchildren for baseball practice and ball games. So
wait, you're going to tell me that? Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So
yeah, I know how life is. I have 3 teenage girls. But I still can find the time to go find out what the heck my neighbor did. But anyway, go ahead.
So about 2 weeks after that, I decided to walk around there, and I said, "Oh my gosh, this isn't on the fence. This is on my siding."
See, that's the thing. I assume that it's going to be more than what the guy, and I assume it's not going to be a drop. I assume that it's going to be mayhem. Mm-hmm. So show me the pictures. What was it?
It was varnish.
Varnish, and it wasn't just on your fence. It was on the side of your home.
Of my house. And all around the siding. These are all the pictures.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
So what were you doing?
I was standing my fence preparing for my daughter's birthday party.
And you got all this varnish on somebody else's house?
Yeah, absolutely. I was using a pump sprayer, and I guess the wind or something took it over, but the pump sprayer did malfunction, and I got
either that or you're not very careful.
No, I was careful. I mean, I didn't get it on the other neighbors.
So you got it on the fence and the house, or just the house?
The fence and the siding. And when I notified her daughter that I got it on the siding.
Why didn't you tell on the siding? You did tell the daughter that, you're saying? Okay.
But I have a note from my daughter
saying no such thing. All right. And what happened was the fence damaged as well?
My fence was not damaged.
Okay.
And the house is so close that when you come around to the north side of my house, which is the whole length of the house, that was paint right there on the side. So Mr. Pinkston and I have had a little words before. So I
on different issues?
On different issues. So I chose not to go over. So I called my daughter and I told her about the paint. So she told me, Mom, don't go over there by yourself.
What were the prior issues you had?
Well, when he first moved in, that February when we had such a heavy snow, his house goes down. He has no walkway. He just has a walkway on the side of his house, and my property is right there on the side for grass and stuff, but my husband cemented it in for some time. So on that side of my house, I get seepage and I get water in my basement. So I didn't know him at the time, so I pecked on the window first, and then I raised the window, and I didn't know a name, and I said, Sir, please don't put your snow on that side of my house. I get water in my basement. And he turned around and told me, I can't hear you. So if he could respond, he heard me. So he kept on throwing the snow.
I think you both could have been a little more neighborly, frankly, hearing the story.
So, who lives in a house here? Quick. How do you get along with your neighbor?
I keep to myself and be respectful of their property is probably the best bet. If you're going to have loud parties, make sure you pass out your phone number so they call you before they call the cops.
Or invite them to the party, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, my way of getting along with my neighbors, I avoid them entirely.
Jeez, this is one happy family around here going inside the courtroom.
Let me just ask you this then. You were planning to do what to remedy the situation? Because it sounds like you were admitting that this was obviously your fault or whatever.
Right. So I tried to pressure washer it off. It didn't come off. It was water-based stain. So, I assumed it'd come off with a little pressure. It didn't. So I tried some other chemicals, nothing too strong, and it actually
made the house white.
Yeah, it turned the siding a little white. So I say at this point.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, we can go to Plan B, which was either paint over it or replace it totally. I told her if she still has contact information on the contractor that did it before, she can get an estimate and we can go from there. She got the estimate, but I thought it was way overpriced.
How much was it?
$1,700.
All right, so you went out and got your own estimate, and your estimate was for how much?
I got 3 estimates.
You got 3 estimates, and they were for how much?
I took the one for $800,
and what were the other 2 for?
$650 and $400.
Can I see them?
I only have the one estimate from the guy I went with.
Okay, because it doesn't sound like self-preservation to pick the highest estimate, but in any event, so according to you, you picked the highest estimate, which is $850, and does that estimate say $800? Okay, so did she approve that person working on her house?
No.
You know what, I would imagine she did because he went on her property to fix it, and what I was told that she was yelling at him and kicking him off his property, saying he was doing it incorrectly. It wasn't a hard job. I understand I made the mistake and I wanted to fix it. That's why we didn't paint over. We went to replace everything. I heard that she kicked him off the property and was screaming at him and just defaming my name as well. So. Okay.
Do you have that person's not here to testify, right?
No.
And do you have an affidavit from him, a statement from him?
No.
What happened with the fellow?
Well, when the fella came, he told me he had worked with the Property Brothers. And he said, are you familiar with them? And I said, yes, I've seen them as I've surfed the channels. And I said, I've never seen you. And he said, oh, I'm usually in the background. So he looked at the stuff and he said, he could work on it. I said, but you've got to give me a contract. I said, you cannot work on my house without a contract. I said, because if you do, I don't have a leg to stand on if you mess up. And he tells me, oh, I can't give you no contract. And I asked him, why? He said, because you're not paying for it. I said, but you forgot one thing. This is my house, and I need a contract. If you fall or something and hurt yourself, then you'll want to sue me. And he got, so then...
Did you had a written contract with him, right?
Yeah, we can
not with me, though.
Let's back that story all the way back.
Wait, you don't know. You don't know what she talked about with another person who you didn't bring as a witness and don't have a statement from.
Exactly.
You just know hearsay. But my question to you is, you had a contract with him, right? Correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. This says $500.
Right, that was the $500 I gave him to start the job. And the other $300 was going to be paid upon completion of the job.
Okay, and nowhere in here does it say how much the contract is for. Let me see the estimate that you got.
This is an estimate I got from the guy that originally did it. And this is the estimate when I came home from Bible class on a Tuesday, and he was there working on my house.
Who's he?
Angelo,
okay, the other fellow,
property.
okay.
And that's when I told him, I said, you didn't give me a contract, so you cannot work on my house. And that's when I asked him to leave. And he went to his car and got this. And I said, that's no contract of telling me what you done. I said, you cannot work here without a contract. So I asked him to leave.
So that was just something that says, at next door neighbor's house to do spray stain on siding. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't even say I'm replacing the siding. All right. Look, here's the thing. I applaud you on how picky you are, because usually litigants aren't in front of me. The guy has a point when he says, my deal is with him, But she has a point when she says, hey, I got to prove you standing on my property and doing my job. So I might have given the guy a chance to do it first, because maybe he gets it right. If he doesn't get it right, then, I sue him for the $1,700, which is exactly where you are right now. But who knows? Maybe the person could have done a good job and then does it and everything's fine and everybody goes home happy, especially when it's my neighbor. Because I don't want to end up with, disagreement with my neighbor. And, when you say, oh, if he falls, he'll sue me, he's still going to, the contract doesn't mean that if he falls, he doesn't sue you. That doesn't make a difference,
But may I say something?
Yeah.
When he was working, he didn't have the proper tools, Judge.
Why? Because you're an expert on siding?
Oh, no, I'm no expert. But I know that you need one of those little saws, like the rotating saws. He had something look like pinking shears trying to cut my stuff.
So you already saw the writing on the wall that this was going to be kind of a hack job?
Yes. Okay. And so I told him, I said, you're taking it off, and those things
we're done. Was the party good?
Oh, yeah, it was great. It was
fantastic. Oh, that's awesome. How old is your daughter? 3. She's not even going to remember it, and you're going to pay her $1,700 for how you ruined the side of her house. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Oh, you have a counterclaim for $500. What's that for?
My deposit.
That you paid the other guy?
Yeah.
Let me suggest to you that in the future, you never pay someone a deposit to work on someone else's house without that person's authority. Okay? Because it is her house. She does have the right to say, no, I don't want to use your guy. Your guy looks fly-by-night to me. And you jumped the gun by hiring and giving the guy a deposit without making sure that she was fine with it. So, no, that's on you, and you have to pay to go the value of the damage that you did to her. $1,700. Ready for the plaintiff? 0 for you. Everybody gets their court costs. Whenever they win a case, they get their court costs. How did I know what she was going to say before she said it?
Yeah, so here he comes. How do you feel about that verdict?
Well, I wanted her to get a siding fix regardless, so I'm glad either way.
This is your next door neighbor, right?
It is my neighbor, so I'm going to have to deal with her for a long time.
All right, so what are things like in the neighborhood?
Quiet. We're going to keep it that way.
All right, around this way. All right, there he goes. That's your next door neighbor, and you're going to try to get along. And
oh, most certainly.
Peace in the valley?
Peace in the valley, yes. Mm-hmm. I hope this will bring us all together, Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna invite him to the next barbecue?
I think we have to work on that one, okay?
You gonna work something out?
Yeah.
All right, Harvey?
Okay, real simple. If somebody damages your property, they cannot in any way dictate who or how to fix it.
Hi, this is Andy Katz, host of March Madness 365, presented by Grammarly. This week on the podcast, listen as we break down the latest AP poll and give you insights on my updated Power 36. Listen to March Madness 365 with Andy Katz, presented by Grammarly, wherever you get your podcasts. Grammarly is a secure AI writing partner that gives your team an instant first draft in a few clicks, not a few hours. Companies that use Grammarly save an average of 19 days per employee per year. Grammarly works seamlessly across 500,000 apps and websites. Get personalized, on-brand writing help everywhere your team works. Learn what better writing can do for your company at Grammarly.com. Grammarly. Easier said, done.